you ever look inside of an engine, you know, like in the cylinders, or look at the valves, or if you ever have a need to do that? More and more today, we really should be doing that, especially when we're looking for things like carbon and cracks and stuff. Oh boy, that's coming right up. Well, we're at the 2018 Vision High Tech Conference in the Oasis Scientific booth, and this is Doug Johnson. He knows more about looking at little stuff than anybody I've ever met. And so, Doug, tell us a little bit about the tool and the relevance of being able to do what we can do with that thing.
Okay, first of all, the tool is called a borescope. And essentially, it started out just like with a camera on your cell phone. It can be very small and yet see a lot. Now, one of the problems you run into with cars and with planes is the fact that they eventually wear out.
Yep.
They have problems. Yep. What we can do with this is we can go in and view not only down the piston where the piston is, but then we can also view the sidewall and up to the valves. And it can do it because this is capable of making a 180-degree turn.
That is just awesome, right?
Huh?
That is just awesome.
Yeah, and we're the only ones that have it.
Right, so being able to look back up at the valve.
That's how we can look up at the valves. In other words, it's down here, and we just press it up. You can see it, yeah. Yep. Okay.
Now, one more thing, I just want to say this. As you guys probably remember, there are some other vision type scopes out there that you put a mirror or something on there to look back up. You ever have one of those mirrors fall off?
You don't.
I have. That doesn't work, right? No, this is a whole lot
terrible.
That's right. Okay.
The other thing is that the actual image is very clear and very precise, whereas the older images, like the old cameras, digital cameras, they weren't that good either.
Right. We can see here on the monitor how precise and clear that is. This is an incredible focus, I guess I would call it. I can see everything.
Yeah. Okay. One final point is that these things, in fact, most of the companies still charge anywhere from $800 to $1,000.
Yeah, I know, they're expensive.
The most expensive one of ours is $400, all the way down to $200. So it's affordable to the mechanic of today.
Right.
And that's what it's all about.
Right. So here's a quality piece of shop equipment at an affordable price.
Yeah.
And we really need these things today, don't we?
Yeah, as the cars last longer, then more problems can happen like this. The burnt valves, scarring on the inside of the wall, that type of thing. Used to be you had a car 2 years and you dumped it. Now you keep a car 10 years, and like mine is, I have one that's 150,000 miles. I usually drive mine till about 300,000 miles. But they have problems.
Well, they do, and the longer they last, you know, you got to remember, corrosion still exists, and it's working away at all the metal and stuff like that. So I don't know. I look at these things, and I think they're more and more relevant today than they ever were.
Definitely. Okay. Okay. Another visual problem you have is seeing some of these printed circuits, some of these little microscopic type of electronic devices that run the car. Yeah. It used to be there's a carburetor, now it's fuel injection. This stuff runs everything. And you can't see these little numbers on there. On this, you can. Secondly, these printed circuits can crack. Doesn't happen too often, but they can. If they do, the car will have some rather bizarre type of symptoms. You can pick it up on the laptop, all right?
Absolutely. I can see how valuable that is. And if you're wondering, am I ever going to look at a little circuit board like that? Sure you are. Remember looking at the intermittent circuit boards on those Jeeps where they crack and we have to patch them up with a piece of wire? There's all kinds of things like that you can actually see what you're doing or actually discover the fault with a piece of equipment like that. Just look how clear that stuff is. Thank you. I've learned a lot, and I had no idea that this stuff was so affordable for the shop these days. So how do we find out more about your product? How do we get a hold of you?
Well, there is a website called Oasis Scientific.
Okay.
And it's on the web, oasisscientific.com, and it'll tell you the various devices, and it'll give you an idea what the costs are. You can either buy it through us, or you can go to Amazon.
Oh, that's pretty handy. All right, so we'll put all that information in the description down below. So check it out and take a peek, I guess is what I want to say, and you're going to be so glad you did.